What happens when the planet Venus goes retrograde and then transits your second house? In this video, we're going to talk about it. Let's get to it. Venus, the planet of love, beauty, worth, self-value, materialism. It's in the second house of possessions, of where your moral ground is. And this is also where we also find our family, early family life, your second house. So when Venus goes retrograde here, this is a chance for you to go inside, which is an internal journey, into your own morals. It's a time to reanalyze your values. And depending on what sign is here, this could be a time when you're dealing with some sort of trigger, and maybe even an issue with your own possessions. This in itself will create a value system that maybe you don't always walk around with it, but you're going to realize that you have. So if maybe you need to sell a piece of furniture, maybe then you might be confronted with your own possessiveness and decide, okay, well, why do I keep things? Why do I hold on to things? Why is it difficult for me to let this go? And through that journey, you would discover, for example, maybe that you really value a certain item because it has a family memory. Or maybe you value certain things because of the quality of which they are made, or the kind of stone that they're made, or wood that they're made. So through the process of dealing with your possessions, you're going to uncover your own values, on which you have a chance to decide if this is the truest value system for myself. Is this continuing to work for me? Because sometimes our values allow us to hoard things. Sometimes our values just allow us to see that we're holding on. And sometimes when you hold on emotionally, you hold on materialistically as well. And the second house is also where we find your income, where you get your money from whoever is paying you, right? Whether it be your boss or your client, whatever. Whoever is giving you money, or how your income flows, is looked at through the second house. So Venus retrograde gives a chance for us to reanalyze if you're happy with how you make your money. Is it morally right the way that you're making it? And this is not about society's morals. It's more about your own personal ones. Maybe there's certain things that you're just not happy giving away for free or giving away for money, depending on what the situation is. Maybe there are certain things that you prefer to do as a hobby versus doing for making money. Because when we deal with the exchange of money, we start to play this game of energy exchange, right? And so certain situations, you'll find that, you know, I don't want to be in this game. I don't want to do this. Like, I love doing what I do, but I'd prefer to do it without having the cloud of me owing you back or you owing me back as a situation in which I make money. With that second house money flow, Venus retrograde allows for you to have this process of looking in and finding out what truly is valuable to you. And with this may be a choice to make money off of it or to stop making money off of it. Venus is an energy of pleasures. And so when Venus is retrograding in the second house, it's like this is a time where you're going to want to maybe spend your money on things that give you pleasure, right? So spend your money. If you love to eat, then you're going to spend your money on food. If you love to do your hair, get makeup, whatever that makes you happy, even temporarily, is where Venus is going to want to put her money. And so the second house is not just where the money comes in, but it's also where the money goes out, in which you may have to analyze, am I overspending? Or is this thing truly something of value that gives me pleasure? Maybe you're, maybe addicted to a certain type of thing that you buy all the time. And when your Venus is retrograding in your second house, you start to reanalyze if this is something that you really need to be indulging in or not. So the retrograde action gives constant self-reflection. And so anything that's bought during this time is going to trigger those feelings. And it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with buying anything. We don't want you to get superstitious. But it's important to have these moments where we're not just shelling out our money blindly and not really looking at, is what I'm giving my energy out, am I receiving equal amounts? Is it serving my life on a higher level? And also, you may have to deal with the concepts of sharing. Now, Venus retrograde in the 8th house is also where we share, but the 2nd house is where we possess. So these things that I'm buying for myself, is this something that I hoard just for myself? And maybe it's okay, but maybe it's gone too far. So Venus retrograde is going to really have you looking outside of yourself, even though it's an internal process in the 2nd house, because it's about all of the items. It's all of the things. Okay, so that is your Venus retrograde transit in the 2nd house.
Special announcement, my album, Venus RX, is available, and along with it, you can get a Venus retrograde oracle bundle.